Takahori or Takamori?
Yeah, Takahori.
Takahori. You're the vice president of a Pioneer subsidiary.
Yeah.
So you are part of the consortium
Yes.
for Blu-ray. Not an enemy. Okay.
Yeah. What I think, because it's just starting to hockey stick, penetration into the market and all to the homes, but what will be the next generation optical disc system?
I don't think we have any more next generation.
Okay.
Except maybe we go from gel layer to more multi-layers, but we don't have any more technology after this. To go from red to blue, we don't have anything after blue.
How about the size of this?
Yes, size can become smaller.
Can be smaller?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it can be installed here?
Yes, there are various studies have been done to make it smaller, like a size of a quarter or something. Yes, there are some different.
But like you said, there's almost like no reason for that because the streaming is just like improving radically.
Of course, do keep in mind the amount of storage on Blu-ray. If you had a terabyte hard drive, which is not the final frontier now, but a very good sized hard drive, you'd only get 40 movies and be maxed out if you were collecting. So,
Yeah.
So as a storage medium, I think it's attractive, as offering you a lot in a relatively small space compared with what you're likely to find on a computer, stacking up additional hard drives.
But again, if the data transfer on optical cable improves further, eventually individuals don't need any more storage devices.
Yeah.
Their motion pictures. Did you collaborate with someone to produce an apparatus that would do the scanning, knowing that that would be the information that would be gathered to put on a Blu-ray disc?
Yes, that's done by individual licensees, not by the association. But company, for example, like Panasonic, does collaborate with these companies for transferring all these movie content into digital format, and then eventually to the disc.
Are these some of the same machines that they use to make DVDs? Or the same
Different
scanners?
machines.
Or are they
But
newer?
similar, same functionality, but different machines.
View this as being practical for putting, let's say, your film on Blu-ray and opposed to DVD?
Yes, very much so, because we shot on 35 millimeter and we scanned it to HD quality, and we look into an avenue that we can produce Blu-ray discs. But since it's a student film, even though there are a lot of famous people in it and involved, but I just don't think it's too practical to produce like thousands of Blu-ray discs. But I think that to get a best quality picture that the film has, we have to get a Blu-ray.
It's like the best student film budget of all time.
Yeah.
Well, that brings up a good point too. It's like the distributors have to be ready for that too. Like why would they want to put all that money into replicating Blu-ray DVDs if it's only really gone or home theater,
What about extra features? Does your DVD title have any extra features like interviews at the end or director's cut or the way Hollywood movies have?
Well, there's a lot of hours
Uh-huh.
of the whole story of the LAPD.
Mm-hmm.
This year, in fact, is the 140th anniversary of the department, and that's a lot of years. And the department has seen good times as well as bad times, and we've learned from past practices, and then we're also a very contemporary organization that has always been traditionally very conservative. So there's a lot of stories to be told, even from now to the future, and we hope to be able to capture that as being part of the museum, to tell the history, to tell the story, and to educate the children in the educational center at our museum, so that they understand about public safety in general in Los Angeles.
And you mentioned to my two kids about the children's
Kodomo Nebuta.
Yes. Could you tell us a little bit about this?
Well, it's a cultural float made out of Japanese paper that's primarily built by and produced by children, and that it is lit by traditionally by some lights, and we're going green, so we're using LED to light the floats, and it's really to celebrate children, celebrate the youth, and to when you always have events that surround the young children, the young adults, it'll bring out family, it'll bring out more people to become interested in just learning and experiencing the diversity that the city has to offer.
Just an overall
Extra features that that are offered on the title itself.
Obviously, details of the licensing negotiations would be a hot seller at any time, right?
For example, I recall one of the titles having picture-in-picture.
Yes.
Could you explain that to us?
Yeah. Well, and also, for example, like a Pirates of the Caribbean, we do have a different. That is one of the Ultra A title where we have different features. For example, like it has got the game, and also in some of the scenes that these pirates play the dice games, and you can actually participate in the dice games with your own point, and so you interrupt the movie itself. You can start to play the various games, and so basically the BD player can play the role of the actual game players, and so you can start to play the games there.
Role play.
Role play, and also because of with its internet connectivity, you can start to play with the other individuals with different locations. So you can start to play the
So it's virtual.
yes virtual games.
Play virtual games to the DVD.
And this is online, correct?
Online, yes. So you can play the actual games with someone, let's say in Japan or in the UK, and you can start to play using these discs. And also, of course, as long as the disc is so designed, you can have different pictures in picture, watching different scenes, picking different menus, and you can see the multiple scenes.
It's almost like a video game itself.
Yeah, it's a.
Well, it is a video game.
It is a video game.
It's amazing.
Is this work outsourced, or does Panasonic do this in-house?
Oh, we can do in-house, but it's within the specification of the Blu-ray disc, so anyone with ideas can do it.
Okay, thank you very much for the Q&A time. And let's thank Mr. Kappei Morishita from Panasonic for being our guest speaker.